Welcome to the Be Ready Utah PrepCast. I'm Wade Mathews, and along with me are Anna Boynton and Bryan Stinson. We're from Be Ready Utah, Utah Division of Emergency Management. We are gonna have, this is part two for our sheltering episode, and we are talking about sheltering in extreme heat. Last episode we talked about extreme cold temperatures and how to shelter from those. So let's just get right into it now. Sheltering from extreme heat is very important so that we don't die, right?
That's the name of the game.
And how do we not die in extreme heat?
Well, so I have a question, guys. How long in extreme heat can somebody last? I mean, what kind of time frame are we looking at that in extreme heat conditions somebody is going to last?
Well, our rule of thumb last time, it was 3 to 4 hours in extremes.
Yep.
It's the same in cold and in heat. Now, there's a lot of different things that go into that, though. What makes it to 3 to 4 hours? I mean, it's how much heat, how hydrated are you, what's your health, what's
your physical condition,
your physical condition. What's your how susceptible are you to something? Like, I've got very fair skin. I burn really quickly, and when you burn, your sunburn, you can no longer sweat as efficiently as you used to.
We don't have to leave you in the oven as long as we would have to leave someone that was
exactly
not as light-skinned. Okay. You cook faster. You cook faster.
So there's a lot of different factors that go into that. Other things, you can be in shade. Shade is a very important thing, blocking you from that direct sun. So I mean, your shade. Okay. Our Mylar blanket here, we're going to show it on the last part, but is anybody? A lot of times we have these Mylar blankets in our emergency kits, and we never pull them out. We don't know how they work.
And everybody thinks that they're just for heat, but what Anna was wanting to demonstrate here, if you can still hear me, this is not necessarily just for extreme heat. I mean, extreme cold. Okay.
We're having fun.
Now we have a shelter from the sun.
From the sun as well.
We can just tie this up and we've got shade.
Yeah.
And that would certainly prolong our survival rate in an extreme heat condition. Getting out of the sunlight is key. It's a reflective surface, right? Light-colored clothing. I think we can take this down now, but
That was fun.
Light-colored clothing also will help keep your heat down, will it not?
And one thing I want to say also about the Mylar is if it gets too close to you, your own body heat is going to start reflecting back. And then that's good for if you're trying to be warm.
Yeah.
But in hot conditions like we're talking about now, you want a little bit further away so it's shade and reflecting the sun's light and heat away from you. Too close, you're going to start reflecting your own body heat back towards you.
Yeah, and one other comment on the Mylar blanket, as people are trying to build their 72-hour kits, their disaster supply kits is what we call them now, and trying to get all those supplies in there that they need to get through and recover from a disaster, a blanket is important, but they don't have room. I can't fit a sleeping bag in there. I can't fit my big wool blanket in there. And so, yes, these little Mylar blankets that we just unfolded will keep you warm by just what you're talking about, wrapping yourselves up in those, and that will reflect that heat back towards you and help conserve that heat in the extreme cold conditions. Right. We're not talking about cold. I mean, we're talking about heat today, but still.
But there again, both ways, hot and cold, it's a benefit.
And my point, yeah, exactly. And my point is, if you have nothing better, at least get the Mylar blankets in your disaster supply kits.
Yes,
that's my
absolutely.
Point. But they will serve dual purposes. So again, back to the cold, the heat. What do we do at home? If the power's out, we can't run our swamp coolers, our central air conditioners. Yes. How do we stay cooler at home?
Have you guys ever turned off your central air or your air conditioning and just felt your house out and kind of got a feel for what rooms are hotter or colder? They're not all the same temperature without our systems. So
the point is identify those cooler rooms and go into those rooms, right?
Yeah. And generally it'll be a room at the north side of our house, as you probably well know.
Okay. In the shade of a tree, the side that has water running past it, if you happen to have that type of luxury, being next to a river or stream or something like that, those will all act to cool that side of the house more.
And if you have multi-levels, crack your upper windows, like, you know, one at the east and west or north and south, so that a breeze can go through at the upper level of the home. But then you stay on the lower level. That is actually going to help your lower level temperature stay down.
Because heat rises.
Because heat rises and you've got a breeze going through up there. So that can be an assistance also.
Okay.
Some people actually say to sleep or, sleep in wet blankets or moist clothing. That can be of help if you're really having an extreme situation. That can help cool your body temperature.
Okay.
We actually did that one time when the power was out.
Oh, really?
We had a young baby in the house, and what we did is we had a battery-operated fan, and we got some wet blankets and put those up, and we had the fan blowing across the wet blankets that promoted evaporation, plus that air movement. It's that convective movement of the currents in the air. It's helped move the heat off of our bodies and helped cool us and our baby down. So yeah, that's hanging up blankets is a really good thing to do. You know, you can just get those little spritzer bottles. You can do that inside your house as well.
Freshen, yeah.
So just a quick recap. Find the cooler rooms in the house, usually the north side or a shady side of the house. Lower rooms, like a basement, is going to be cooler than upper rooms. Keep windows open, let that breeze go through. And I like the idea of the cool blankets or cool clothing. And now what about clothing specifically? You know, if we're outdoors again, loose fitting, light colored clothing, what else we would need to remember for clothing?
Well, you want to do just the opposite thing that you did for wintertime, for cold. So in cold, you don't want to have cotton next to your skin because that holds moisture next to your skin. Now in hot conditions, that's exactly what you want. You want cotton clothing, loose fitting, because the cotton holds the moisture when you sweat, holds it next to your skin, so that when it evaporates, that evaporative cooling is what helps cool you down. Hydration, very, very important. Make sure you get plenty of fluids in you so that you can actually have that sweating and evaporative cooling. Keeps yourself covered. A lot of times we think shorts and t-shirts, but you know, for me, again, very fair skin. That will burn, and you won't be able. You will burn, and you won't be able to sweat as efficiently as you could before. So long sleeves, if not that, at least sunscreen, hats, sunglasses are a very good thing to do as well. Protect your eyesight in bright conditions. But hydration, loose clothing, and protect yourself from the sun.
Okay. Well, thank you both very much. I think this has been a good discussion on this this is hot weather sheltering, and see our part one for the cool weather sheltering, right? And all these episodes are available on our Be Ready YouTube channel and on Facebook, and check us out on Twitter. And please give us your questions. What kind of questions would you like to answer on emergency preparedness? We'd be happy to try and do those for you right here on the Be Ready Utah PrepCast. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Hey, hope you enjoyed this episode of the Be Ready Utah PrepCast. Like what you're seeing? Have a question about anything related to emergency preparedness? Or do you have a comment about something you've learned as you make a plan or get a kit? We'd love to hear from you. Comment or reply to us on Twitter or Facebook at Be Ready Utah with hashtag BRUPrepcast, or in the comments on YouTube. We'll talk about it on one of the next episodes of the Be Ready Utah PrepCast. Don't forget to share these videos and your own adventures in preparedness with your friends, family, neighbors, and coworkers, because anytime is a good time to talk about emergency preparedness. See you next time.